Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Phantasy Calradia. Now, when we left off, we had just taken out the Vagirs, and we have now, of course, just received the message that detailed their elimination. So, thankfully enough, we did receive some of the Vagir vassals. However, rather worryingly, we have suffered a little bit of a loss in terms of how many Vagir vassals actually joined the Delthasum Empire. So we are going to be having, well, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure whether we'll have any issues with them at a later time, because, as you see here, the Order of the Blazing Hand is doing a relatively good job at taking them on. Now, as I say that the Vagirs have been eliminated, we are going to be declaring war against the Swadians, I think, because I have done a little bit of analysis over the past few months. I believe it's been a couple of in-game months at least, and this is our army, just as a by-the-by, but we are going to be taking on, I believe, Tilbo Castle, Dirtios Castle, and maybe even Dirim, if we can get there, because I feel as though taking this particular area right here will expand our territory without too much risk, in terms of course, the Swedian vassals launching a counterattack. And, as you may see, they don't really have too many fiefs for us to take, so I think it should probably work out quite well. However, the only thing I am a little bit worried about, of course, is the threat of the Blazing Hand, because if and when they decide to declare war against us, then we are going to be in a world of hurt. As you can probably see, they have a couple of castles surrounding Kudan here, and yes, Ikamur and Blazing Hand Temple are right between Talbot Castle and Nelag Castle, so if anything happens, yes, the Blazing Hand are going to get the drop on us, but I do know from your comments that they are not necessarily too good in siege defenses, because they don't have any ranged units, apart from a couple of fireball spells, I believe. So yeah, it's not too bad, I suppose, although I would prefer they didn't have any ranged capability whatsoever. But yes, we are using these Blazing Hand Inquisitors and infantry as well, and many of you did state that I should come up with some sort of backstory for those units and why they would join the Realm of Shadows to assist us in our goal of Calradian domination, I suppose you would say. But I suppose the greatest possibility would be that Arkane cast a mighty spell upon them and decided to corrupt their souls so that he has now gained control over them. That is probably, along those lines at least, yes, that would probably be the best idea. So, yes, without further ado, we are going to be heading in to Wurcheg, and we are going to speak to Artimena as we wade through the mighty masses that we have here. And I must just mention that we do actually have a couple more vassals as well. I did make some more of the Nord vassals, owners of various fiefs around our lands, and I took your advice. I have made Lord Nadar and Lord Harold lords. So that is rather cool, as well as, I believe, was it Lord Galard? Yes, Lord Galard. I actually ran into him by mistake and I had to accept, so yes, that is rather impressive. But nevertheless, here are all of our vassals. As you can see here, we have Lady Mateld, Lord Fruorin, Frudak, Rafard, Rudin. Not entirely sure where we have Rudin or Rafard, to be honest. Okay, well, Harold, Nadar, Galard, Lugi Ortraka, and Rogi Garanron. And he is another Dwarven vassal that joined us from, where was it? I believe it was from the Delthasum Empire, actually. I believe Lich King Maliran indicted him, and he joined us instead. So that is very, very nice, I must admit. And now I, of course, didn't do what I intended to do over here. So yes, we will be, of course, declaring war against the Swadians. I wish to dispatch an emissary, that is true, to King Harlaus, and we are going to declare war upon him. There we are. Okay, so now as you can see, thankfully enough, I was able to give most of our vassals a rather considerable amount of fiefs. However, Frudak has now taken a disliking to that, so we are not going to be too happy in his book. But there it is. The Realm of Shadows has declared war against the Kingdom of Swadia, and we will now be heading on as quickly as we can down to Tilbo Castle and hopefully taking it without too many issues. Of course, I am on a bit of a time limit here because we are going to probably have a What's going on here? Why is that deteriorated? Oh no! Okay, not entirely sure what's going on there, but never mind. We do have quite a lot of relation with each of them, but as I was saying, I am going to be having quite a few issues with morale. As you can see, it was excellent when I first started playing, and recording indeed, and now it is turned to high, because we have a couple of party size issues, no doubt, and so we are almost here. Let's do it. Now, I was thinking of taking on the elves, believe it or not, but one of you did comment that the elves are apparently so powerful that you had 50, I believe it was, 50 elven rangers, and they were the highest tier of unit, and you took on the Ridus Magocracy, I believe, with 300 mages in their garrison, and you were able to take them out without any issues, so I can only assume that the elves have such a large amount of magic defense that they are basically ranged dwarves, I suppose. So, yes, that is probably what we want to avoid at this time. So, thankfully enough, this is a ladder castle, and with the help of Ymira's engineering, we should be able to construct it rather well. Now, we are seeing a declaration of war from the Khergit Khanate towards the Saranid Sultanate, which is very strange indeed, because the Kingdom of Swadia... Oh. What is going on here, actually? Is it because we're in wartime? That is very strange. Okay. Well, I have actually given them fiefs as well. It's not like I haven't given them fiefs. That's strange. Okay, well, maybe one of you will know why their relation is going down for some unknown reason. I have given them strongholds to look after and everything. You know, I've given Lugi Ortrak a huge amount, so not entirely sure what's going on with that. Well, never mind. We are going to be attempting to use Missile Storm a little bit, because I believe one of you did state that it kills in one shot. Not entirely sure about that, to be honest, because we have tried it out previously, and unfortunately we didn't find it to be too effective, but maybe they have changed it slightly? I'm not entirely sure. I don't have the updated version, so it shouldn't, but yes, never mind. It appears that we have now run out of mana, but we are going to be using potentially Lightning Bolt when we are able to rejuvenate our forces. And wait a minute, let's get our mages over here, shall we? That would be very nice indeed. So we do already, oh wow, have 57 kills on the counter right there, so that is very, very good. Now let us get our sword at the ready, our Vorpal Blade, and we will attempt to do as much damage as we can to these fellows here. So, oh, they actually have quite a lot at the, oh, never mind. Yes, not too much now. These fellows do have shields. Okay, well, maybe not so much anymore, but nevertheless, we will... Ouch! How dare you? Who was it? Who shot me? It appears no one. Okay, well, let's take out our lightning bolt here, and... Oh yes, a lot of damage there. We didn't kill anyone, unfortunately, but we did a pretty reasonable amount of damage, and no, I didn't want to actually go to that particular menu right there. But this will probably be okay, so that we can actually take out their ranged units before they take me out. No headshots, please. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, oh, let's take out these guys. Yes, this is good. This is good. We have some mana to burn here. Come on, let's take them down before they're able to deal some damage to our units as well. Let's get our archers over here, to be honest, because we're sorely lacking some ranged capability. We do have our Blazing Hand units in here, but I would not like to lose too many of those in the process of taking this one castle. As I said, I would like to take Dirchios if possible. There we are, wonderful. Okay, so now we only have a couple of extra Swadian units up there, and there we are. We have been successful in our victory over the Swadians. Our first victory against the Swadians in this series. So that is very cool. Now, as you may notice, I do have a couple of spaces. I did that on purpose, of course, so that we may indeed find some very, very powerful units in the process of running around and taking a lot of various fiefs here. So let's have a look, shall we? I would like to take some of the Nord units, to be honest, because we have not used any Nord units, even though I probably should start recruiting them. That is something that I did neglect to do, unfortunately. I was making and creating, summoning, whatever you want to call it, shadows over the past few months, in-game months, and that has proven to be rather nice, because as you may see here, we have 23 Shadow Wizards. We did have, I believe it was 14, and I gained a couple more at that time, so it's not too bad. Now, we are okay in terms of food, so let's take a few things to sell. And then we will give this I really did not accept this guy. That is very strange. Okay, we're going to give it to him because he doesn't have anything. So let's give it to him. This is very strange. Okay, well, there we are. Now, yes, everyone seems to be okay, so there we have it. Tilbo Castle is now looked after by Lord Rudan. Oh! I know why. Well, here's the story. I was running around trying to find the Vaegir vassals because the Kingdom of Vaegirs was not being eliminated at all. So I was running around in various places and I just happened to run into them around Talbuck Castle, and I decided to try and persuade one of them, and I was successful. And he joined us. So that is the reason why we have a Vaegir vassal, and I was under the impression that it was some sort of bug. So yes, that is my bad right there. But yes, I did try to persuade the other Vaegir vassals, but they were not having any of it, because they were very loyal to King Yaroglek himself. So unfortunately, we were not able to do anything around that sort. So, okay, well, oh my. That is amazing. Okay, I really appreciate... Goodness me. Yes, I really appreciate our vassal's strength right here. Look at this. Ortracker has 290. 290. Wow, okay. And Rogi is nothing to sniff at either. He has 150. Frudak has 102, which is a lot more than we saw him with previously. So let's just speak to him for a second. He has minus 11. Should we give some troops to him? I would like to give some troops to him. Let's give him some skeletons. Why not? And we'll level up that as well. Okay, that should be fine. I really wish this mod would give you relation for giving troops to your vassals. That would be amazing. Okay, so that should be fine, I believe. Yes, there we are. Now he has 156, which is a little bit better. So let's just see what Mr. Ortrak is going to be doing here. Not entirely sure where he's going. Maybe he's going to Dirham? That would be amazing. Okay, well, while those fellows go off and do that, I will be attempting to take Durchos Castle. So, let us see. Oh, yes, it is a ladder castle, so it will only take 7 hours, I believe. And Dirham! Dirham has been besieged by Mr. Ortracker himself. And Lord Galard was defeated in battle, which is not too pleasant, but oh my. Okay, well, there we are. We have a very pleasing time of it indeed against the Swadians so far. We have not had any issues with them so far. However, we may indeed have a couple in times to come, because I have a bad feeling that they might have, well, let's just say, swung round the back and are attempting to have a very strategic siege in mind, which I'm thinking might be Wurcheg. I would really not like that to happen, because that is of course where all of the vassals are awaiting us to accept their pledges and so forth. But I am thinking that hopefully, well, Quiona just got taken out incredibly quickly right there. Well, yes, I'm thinking that maybe they will do such a thing. I'm not entirely sure whether they're that tactical, but hopefully they are not. Otherwise we are going to have quite a few issues. And oh no! We just lost one of our dark mages. Ah, that's not going to do, is it? Well, we are going to be charging there, and let's do it. Okay, we've already taken 138, which is wonderful. Now, let's get out our Vorpal Blade, and please don't take any damage. Arcane, that would be terrible. Okay, come on, let's take some damage, apparently. Oh my. Okay, well, 60 damage. Not going to survive that, that's for sure. Yeah, okay, well, I thought the initial blows that I took from one of their melee units was going to be my doom. But, as it happens, 60 damage from one of their crossbowmen is definitely going to take us out, no problem at all. Because if I navigate to our character screen... Oh, yes. Would have taken us out by 2 HP. That is rather impressive, to say the least. Well, let's just see here. How close are we to a level? That's actually... Huh. That's not too bad, actually. I think we should be able to do that rather soon. Let us hope we'll be able to do that anyway. So, without further ado, let us tell our archers to charge in, so that we can get our mages on the battlements here, hopefully support our blazing hand units as they charge inevitably towards the enemy's crossbowmen and take a lot of damage in the process, as you can see. The Swadian's sharpshooters are absolutely deadly by the looks of things, and thankfully enough, our Shadow Wizards have now entered the battle and they are throwing their fireballs and so forth at our opponents. So there we are, that appears to seal the deal, and oh, we are having a couple of issues with their wizards on top of this balcony here. Hopefully we will soon see their demise. Come on, take him out, wizards. Yes, thank you very much. Master Mage right there, that's great. Okay, so now we can potentially go over to Dirim and maybe help out Mr. Ortracker himself and the various other vassals that were accompanying him. Maybe that would be a good idea. Oh, a sword sister, wonderful. We will take one of those, that is for sure. Now let's have a look here. Mercenary swordsman, let's take one of those. Blazing hand footman. And let's take some orc units, shall we? Yeah, let's take some orc units. Okay, let's take, there we are, that will be enough. And anything else? Oh, I would have liked to have taken those Nord units as well. Okay, well, there we are. I do know that there is a bandit mage here, but I think we will be leaving it this time around. Oh, I almost missed out on some prisoners. That would have been a catastrophe. Okay, so let's take those. That will be fine. And now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm thinking we'll probably give this... See, that's the thing. Frudak already has 4 castles and 5 villages, and he hates us, so I'm not entirely sure whether we should continue to feed him, as it were. Maybe we'll give this to Lord Nadar? Lord Nadar or Lord Fruorin? No, I think we have to give this to Frudak, just to make it so that he has a positive relation with us. And it means that Lady Mateld's relation does not go down any further either, which is wonderful. So I think that will be fine. There it is. Okay, so now we do have an elven fellow right here. Now, I have not fought the elves yet, and I am a little bit antsy about it, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure whether we'll be able to prevail against them if, as you say, the top tier archers and 50 of those can take on 300 mages. I mean, seriously, that is insane. So I'm hoping that they do not have such numbers, but you never know. They might be able to pull something out the bag. So let's see here. I don't really want to increase agility, do I? Not particularly. So what are we going to do here? We're going to increase intelligence, I believe, get some more iron flesh, and more athletics, I believe. That seems to be a good idea. Now, he is using a crossbow, so let's get him some more crossbow proficiency, and I would like to give him some of this armor. Yes, this is much better for him. Great. And, oh, why didn't I give him that before? I had that in my inventory for ages. Not entirely sure what's going on with that. Okay, never mind. We seem to be fine, so he's a lot better kitted out. I could give him an apprentice hat, but that is not going to suit him very much at all, so I will just leave it at that. Wait a minute. Ah, he has a pickaxe, but we could give him this. Yes, I think that is probably going to be worth it, so let's do that. Okay, so we are now going to be leveling up a couple of our units. Dark mages, some master necromancers as well, which is wonderful, and an actual necromancer as well. That's great. So, what do we want to do here? I think we probably want to give Frudak some more skeletons. I want to give some troops to you, of course. Okay, so 66 more skeletons to him. And now he has an army size of 222, which is rather nice. Of course, do bear in mind that most of those units are very fragile, so hopefully he will not have to rely on them too much. Now, I am going to be heading over to Sanuzg Castle while they participate in that siege. I'm sure they will be done rather soon. Now, Lord Harold was defeated in battle, unfortunately enough. Now, oh yes, I was really hoping that this was not going to be a siege tower, and I was indeed blessed by the fact that it is ladders, so that is good. Now, it is done. Wonderful. Let us head in. Okay, oh, we spawned quite close to the walls. A little bit apprehensive about that, but as you saw, I think, before we entered here, there are basically no units stationed here, because obviously, as you know, mages do like to take out quite a few units very, very quickly indeed, and we've already taken out 58 of them, and there's only 13 remaining. I mean, 5 remaining. So yes, I believe even before we get to the battlements, yeah, probably will have won already. Well, I suppose that is why we do have a huge amount of Shadow Wizards. We do have some Shadow Knights, though, however, so yes, I was attempting to put my faith back into them, because obviously I wanted to make it so that we had a few more Shadow units, and I thought that might be quite nice. So let's give this to Lady Mateld, because she did have minus relation. And yeah, it does appear that Frudak and Mateld get on very, very well indeed, so it appears that maybe I should have increased their leadership a little bit more before making them vassals prior to that. So, okay, well, we're fine, I think. Now, I think before we end this episode off here, I'm going to go and scout Rindjar Castle. We have 24 more skeletons, so I will be giving this to the other dwarven vassal, which is, of course, a roguey here. And we will now give him some skeletons. So there we are. Very nice indeed. So now he has 174. Hopefully we will make them into unstoppable killing machines. If we give them 500 more skeletons, maybe that will be the case. Yes. Okay, so let's see here. What do we want? Probably a Shadow Knight, because we have too many Shadow Wizards as it stands, I believe. Okay, that seems good. So there was actually a Swedian vassal off to the side here, but I do not believe he will cause our vassals any issues. Yes, as you can see, Count Rafarch, he only has 35. And there's Lord Rudin. Ah, unfortunately he appeared just as I had given my spare units to the other vassals. Otherwise I would have liked to have given him some, as he only has 73. That's not great. Okay, so Rindjar, 139. Okay, we're going to be heading in here as well. This is a true sieging spree in great Arkane Deathbloom fashion. And we have, once again, 8 hours to construct the ladders. Come on, Ymira. You can do this. Oh, yes, there we are. Very nice indeed. And we will now lead our soldiers. Oh, this is a pretty good castle layout, if I recall. I do believe this is rather difficult for mages and or archers to kill things from, so let's just see if that is correct. It does not appear so at the moment, but who knows. Okay, well, shields up, shall we? We do want to get our shield up, make sure that we don't get any unnecessary damage. That reminds me, I really do have to find a better helmet. I think that would probably help us out quite a bit, as I think that 60 damage from that crossbowman previously was probably the result of him getting a headshot on us, and that was not too pleasant, that is for sure. So, let us now charge our infantry in, and we will see what lies within their battlements. Oh, wow, okay, whoa, 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 no, how dare you. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna charm you. There we are. Fight for me. Oh, yes. Okay, come on, let's get some of those guys down there if we can. Come on, let's do it. Mages and their high defensive skills. Oh, there we are. We actually got one. That's amazing. Okay, come on. Let's maybe get another one then. I'm delivering 0 damage at the moment. That's not too good. Okay, come on. Let's try and get that crossbowman behind them, perhaps. Come on. Something tells me that I'm not aiming properly. Okay, well, never mind. We are going to be using instead vampiric bolt. Let's get back some of our... Oh my goodness! Did you just see that? Whoa, it looks like a bat of some sort. That is amazing. Oh wow, I didn't actually notice that before. That is amazing. Okay, cool. Wonderful. I really wish that... Yes, there we are. We actually did some damage and we got back our HP. So now we can switch to Fireball and do some damage with that. There we are. Take him out, no problem at all. Our units were having a couple of issues actually finding him. Here's Ymira, by the way. That is her new set of armor. She has a dwarven helmet on as well, and she has a war cleaver to accompany that. So that is rather wonderful. Now, we do have 2 renown reward and 23 morale as well. The morale is definitely going to help us continue onward. Oh, it's been a while since we've done one of these sections, isn't it? This is great. Well, that was a little bit... Really? Oh my goodness, that was the only unit in the keep here. Well, I suppose we cannot blame him for trying, and we freed one of the Nord vassals, which is rather impressive. Okay, so, we didn't actually lose anyone, it appears. Yeah, we didn't lose anyone whatsoever, so I will not be taking any of these prisoners. There is one bandit mage here, but I believe we can leave that. So let us head on to the looting screen, and we will have a look here. Nothing much, I do not believe. An adept hood? Anything else? Ooh, some boots and a helm. That's going to be rather nice for Bunduck, I believe. So what is this? Rindjar Castle. This is Rindjar Castle. So let's give this to Lord Nuddar, and Frudak is down to 5 relation once again. Ooh, it appears that Harold and Garlard are getting on with Lord Nuddar, of course, because they are Nords. So that is always good to see. At least there is one positive out of giving him a fief, so that's good. So let's see here. Let's level up some of our Nord units, more Dwarven Paragons as well. And let's move and see how many we get. 44 skeletons, that is great. So there we are. We are going to be ending this episode off here. And hopefully next time on Phantasy Calradia, we will see Dirim under the control of the Realm of Shadows, and then we will be heading on to Malayag Castle and Ahun Castle, I believe, because that is the closest to us at the moment, and then we will be consolidating the remaining territory and claiming it as our own. So, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.